I made it! I am so sorry, this is the first time I'm actually talking in this video. I have never flown before. That was my first time flying and I didn't know what to expect. So I feel like I was just like very overstimulated for the first majority of it. However, I must say it's not as scary as I thought it would be, especially considering I did it all by myself. My friend ended up flying at a different airport than I did. So yeah, she's actually still flying. I just checked into a hotel. Just a cute little room for us. Jeez. There's actually an hour time difference between Ontario and Winnipeg, which is something I never knew. I don't know any of the time differences, especially in Canada. So it's actually 2 a.m. And I haven't stayed up till 2 a.m. in a very, very long time. But because the time says it's like, what, 1 a.m.? Yes, it's 1:06. I think that's just tricking my brain into thinking that it's not tired. But she also just said that she just landed. So hopefully she'll get here within the next like half an hour, 40 minutes, which is still so crazy. But I'm just glad that she's landed. That means we're in the home stretch now. Random book update. I'm still reading Kingdom of Ash. And I'm surprised to say it, but I think Cole and Irene's perspectives is actually one of my favorite. I can't say I overly cared about his storyline much before this. I guess in Tower of Dawn, it was like the pulling factor of that book, but like now I actually look forward to their chapters, which is just kind of a nice surprise. Actually did such a bad job at keeping up with this vlog while we were together. It was just so nice to see her again, and we had so much to catch up on that I wasn't thinking about picking up my camera and necessarily speaking. So I'll just kind of overlap these videos and forgive me for how choppy this is going to be. So basically on that first day, we got up in the morning after finally figuring out that there actually was another set of blinds, and it wasn't just me, she couldn't find it either. Needless to say, we were up bright and early. And then we walked down to a breakfast place that we found. I believe it was called EOB Breakfast. It's a chain restaurant, but we ended up going there for both mornings that we were in Winnipeg. And honestly, it was really good. I wouldn't have picked another place. The second day, we woke up starving, and I was like, you know what, let's just go back. It's okay, we don't need to try a new place just because we're here. And then it kind of worked out that she picked something for us to do, and I picked something for us to do at different times. So after breakfast, we went back to the hotel, just kind of got ready for the day, and we ended up going to the zoo, and that was her suggestion, and honestly, it was so fun. It's been so long since I've been to a zoo or even considered going to one, but we were there for maybe 2 to 3 hours, probably closer to 2, and it was great just walking around, chatting, looking at stuff. We also had gotten these strawberry lemonades that were kind of amazing, and she ended up getting a little stuffed animal from the gift shop for her nephew. However, by the end, we were so excited to leave. It was getting so hot outside. It's kind of funny too, because I told her, I'm like, if there is one thing about me is that I will not be able to find the animal that's in the exhibit. And we were standing in front of, I think it was like a snow leopard or something, and we're looking, and everybody around us is like talking about the animal and how fluffy it was and everything, and I'm like, is it just me or can you not find it either? And she's like, I cannot find this thing either. And we're looking and looking, and then it was like right smack dab in the center, and I was like, this is exactly like the curtain situation. Like we both just completely missed it, and it was just kind of fun. I love having like silly friends and moments where you're just so connected like that. The day we went to the zoo was actually the same day as the Hozier concert. I wouldn't know where to start some music playing. It was really good though. Like I said, I don't really know his music that well. It was definitely her pick that we were actually going to this event, and that's why we ended up in Winnipeg in the first place. It's just because she missed him while he was here. And this was actually her first concert, which I had no idea until we saw each other the day before. He did say he was fairly sick, and usually like artists will say that if they're like a little groggy or something, and I totally get it, just like a just in case, you know, their voice breaks or something like that. But I felt so bad for this man. Like, he was doing his best, and it was so sweet that he didn't want to cancel, especially because we flew for this trip. Like, we came from out of province for it. But I felt so bad for him. There were, I think, 3 times that he went to start a song, and his voice just like completely gave out, and he had to restart. And he was so humble about it, I have to say. Not knowing much about him, I definitely left loving his personality so much. He was just so humble, I guess, just calm and down to earth. He seems like such a nice guy. I also got 2 things from the concert. I've already showed this little guy, but my friend crocheted me a little seal, and he is so freaking cute. I love him so much. But I got that little pin that's attached to him there, and I thought it was so cool that he actually did merch to the location. Like, it says Winnipeg and the date on it, and I thought that was so much more fun than just like a general kind of piece of merch from him. I also got one of the tote bags. It's pretty simple. It just has that design on the front, and then it says his name on the back there. And my friend got pretty much the same thing. She got a pin, the tote, and also a poster, which it looks like it's a really good quality. I have to say, the first bag the guy gave me, the thread was like completely torn apart. Like, it was just like kind of disappointing. I hold the belief that merch at concerts is always fairly bad quality. However, it was really bad. So he gave me a new one, and it's all been good since then. I've used the bag maybe 2 or 3 times, and it has held up really well. So I have to say, as far as concerts go, I would probably give him like an 8 out of 10. Again, he was sick, and I don't know his music very well, so I think that's pretty good. However, the crowd was kind of weird to me. I haven't been to like a million concerts by any means, but everyone I've gone to, we pretty much stood the whole time. Like, for Noah Khan, he came out and we stood. That was it. And this one, like, we sat for a little bit, and there were people around us that sat the whole time, and that was so weird to me. I don't know if it's Winnipeg or if it's the culture of his concerts or just from where we were sitting, but yeah, it was super weird. However, they did do like the flashlight thing, and that makes me cry every single time, so that was also very good. After the concert, we were exhausted, so we just head back to the hotel. We chatted for a little bit, which was so nice. There's something so wholesome about sleepovers with friends where you just stay up for hours and just like talk about random things. It's so near and dear to my heart. It makes me feel like I'm like 12 years old again. I love it. And then the next day, we only really had the morning kind of into the afternoon because we had to be at the airport for 2:15 for her flight, which was at 4:15, and I had an extra hour at 5:15. But in the morning, we got to do my pick, and I picked the Forks Market. I had a bunch of clients telling me that, like, oh, if you're going to Winnipeg, like, you have to go see this market. So we went, and it was really good. It very much gave, like, the Kensington Market in Toronto, if anyone's been there. Lots of cute little shops. I ended up getting some stickers because I'd love to start scrapbooking, and I thought that would be a cute, like, little addition to the page. I also kept the boarding passes and the tickets to the zoo, which was super cute. I can't wait to put it all together once I get one. There were lots of Indigenous owned stores as well. I had some ribbon shirts and skirt kits, which I thought was super fun. My mom actually makes those as well, and I don't know, I just think it's such a fun idea to get to go home and make that with someone. And of course, it wouldn't have been a trip if we didn't go to a bookstore, so we popped into one. It was a smaller bookstore, so they pretty much just had like the really big like booktok kind of books. Definitely like, I guess I would call them almost like buzzword books. However, they had lots of Sarah J. Maas, lots of different rom-coms. We also found this strawberry mug, and the tension between me and purchasing it was insane, but it was $45. And then yeah, we pretty much head to the airport. They had a little cupcake stand in there, which was so weird. I have to say the Winnipeg airport, while small, was just kind of cool. Like the lights they had on the ceiling and everything. And then, yeah, they had this cupcake stand. So I got a little treat while we were waiting because I was going to be there for about 3 hours until my flight boarded. This was also the day that pumpkin spice was back at Starbucks. So I went to get one and I accidentally ordered it hot instead of iced, which is such a rookie mistake. It's been so long since I've gone. So I ended up having like 4 sips of it when it finally cooled off enough, and then I had to throw it out because my plane got there. Yeah, pretty much just flew home. My boyfriend picked me up from the airport, and that was that. It was such a fun trip. I highly recommend just trying to make the effort to go to things. There was a moment where I was like, this is a lot of work for us. Like, it was a lot of traveling for her. She had a much longer travel day than I did, but it was so worth it just to see her and get to do something like that. I've never flown before. She'd never been to a concert, so it was a big trip for both of us, I would say. Anyways, thank you so much for clicking on this video, for joining me along for this little mini vlog of my trip. I cannot wait to go somewhere else, maybe even attempt a longer flight by myself. We will see what happens. But yes, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!